HarvestNow, fourth pilot in this open call too. So mainly focused in France and Belgium, where we want to work on flax and hemp. So I would say these are niche crops today, but gaining more and more attraction due to the benefit it has for climate change and so on. So we see more and more flax being used and hemp being used, as I said, because it's a natural product. It can be used for several outputs. So we see more and more hectares of flax and hemp being cultivated in Western Europe, at least. And that's also the main goal after this application HarvestNow, which I will come back later. And certainly in France, where we started this project mainly, because in France is I would say 50% of all production is being done in France. So the attraction of these digital tools can, of course, be beneficial for French farmers, but not only French. We want to extend later on in Belgium and the Netherlands, certainly in Western Europe. And why is it so important? I think I will not touch everything, but as you all know, we are facing some climate change challenges. Also, emissions has to reduce, and we also want to become a more and more sustainable and circular economy. And all these three elements are really pushing farmers to think about their crops. And hemp and flax are two crops which are, I would say, quite well suited for dealing with these challenges. They don't need a lot of water, they don't need a lot of pesticides, and so on. So that's they also have the capability of curing, I would say, or healing, if I can say it like that, the land. So they only have good properties to deal with. And in this project, as I said, timing is everything. So we wanted to develop a tool because the biggest issue with flax and hemp is when do I need to harvest exactly? Because it's quite sensitive to do that. You need to be, I would say, on the right moment. So you have a window of a couple of days, but that's all. So we want to develop a tool which helps the farmers to have an overview of their fields and showing them which field is, for example, has to be harvested first, and then later the other ones, and so on. So we want to help him by I would say a decision support to get this done. Previous times, in the good old times, they say they really look to the field. They drive around and they look to the field. They felt the flax, and then they decided when it could be sufficient to harvest. But that's of course not sustainable and not scalable. So and that's why this main goal of HarvestNow is to not think about when do I need to harvest. This is the tool which will give you the decision support you need, and to determine the best time window to harvest a specific field with a very easy to use application, because farmers really like this easiness, I would say, by combining different sources. And there is the benefit of working in the Demeter consortium, where we can have access to different kinds of services to help us in determining the optimal timing. And of course, we want to share that data. We want to be an open platform, so the calculated harvest time can also be shared to other interested software programs. And of course, by doing so, and maybe in other crops this is more general already, but in flax, I would say data-driven agriculture is not really top of mind at this moment. So this project can also help farmers to see the benefits of using data. Can help to raise the awareness in the flax community. And of course, because we are rather new, we can also start with the greenfield approach. So data standardization is more easier, I would say, and that's also one of the benefits by using the components and the best practices offered by the Demeter Consortium to be integrated in this tool to the right things at the right way. That's the super objective, of course. And we did this to position the HarvestNow application within the broader data-driven flax ecosystem. This is the project more in a technical way. I will not go in detail on every integration, but we integrated a couple of services offered by the Demeter project and consortium. So we use the plant yield estimation service, the weather service. We also have a plant stress detection using satellite data, and we are also using yield measurements from previous years to put this all into an application to calculate with some formula the most optimal time window to harvest the flax. We also made it possible to integrate some expert knowledge, because farmers have their own knowledge. They know their fields sometimes even better than other ones. We also wanted to give them the opportunity to steer or influence the decisions by the tool. And I think that's also important. We also made an API to make it, I would say, accessible to other programs or other software tools to use the data delivered by the HarvestNow application. And this we did the last 12 months together with the Demeter Consortium. We did this really an agile roadmap, integrating service by service, look to interaction with the users, to fine tune, to tailor, to test the application as much as possible. Of course, we used also the output services of the Demeter, so other software tools can use it, because I really think we need to be open from input, but also certainly from output side to other farm management information systems, for example. You can find the application, of course, on the Demeter Enabler Hub, which is a kind of, I would say, discovery site for externals to see what is available. To give you also, and this is the, I would say, most technical slide on the architecture. So the different services have been integrated in Docker containers on the HarvestNow application, and we developed the HarvestNow web application on top of that. This is some screenshots of the tool. It's in different languages, so farmers can import their fields on the right top side, for example, and then automatically by clicking on different buttons, they can integrate weather data from historical sources, from predictions, from all these other services, from the plant stress, the yield information, and then a kind of data, a kind of time window is determined to the farmer to help him. He can also give remarks on the fields. He can give his input to certain decisions and so on. So a very easy tool, because that's important, easy, but also influenceable by farmers, and that was also a big feedback from them. We used, of course, these Demeter components. I will not go in detail here. More information can be found later, I think. And of course, now we want to scale. These are the partners in the project. We focus on France, but we also can extend easily to the Netherlands and Belgium, because that's really the flax region in Western Europe. So it has quite some potential, we think. We are now further testing it this growing season, as we are now busy with the growing, and also we are extending the efforts in other projects, hopefully in the near future, to further fine tune the application. Next steps, like said, we want to further develop the tool by integrating it more with other farming applications, maybe also expand it to other crops and other regions, like said already. Maybe further integrated with extra sensor information, with on-field sensors, and further integrated with supply chain systems, with the whole flax ecosystem. So that the application is not a standalone tool, but I would say an integrated into other tools. So HarvestNow is really the application, your daily tool in the summer, we say to the farmers, to help him in determining the best harvesting time for his flax fields. And that's, I would say, the essence of the HarvestNow application, which we have developed.